Alright, so today we have a review of the Diecast Masters CAT 420F 2 IT in 1/50th scale. This model was released, I'm not sure when it was released. It's been out for a little while. I picked mine up when I went to the IMCAT show. I got it from a friend. I paid a relatively good price for it. So without further ado, let's get straight into the review. So starting off with, you have a warning beacon here, but for some reason they put a wire to it so it goes into the cab. I'm not sure why they decided to do that. I've never seen that before on a backup before, so that's a little odd, but nonetheless, I'm a big fan of the warning beacon on the model. As you can see right here, you have nice 420 F2 IT decals right here. You have a simulated, this is to hold your cylinder. If you're working on it, it would hold it if you have it in the up position. So if you had the backhoe like this, that bar would go over the cylinder. Would go over a cylinder so it wouldn't bleed down on you if you were doing some maintenance. As you can see, one thing I did to this model was I took the figure out of the cab. It's actually very easy to do. All you gotta do is remove 4 screws. You just have to remember what order you took them out in. As you can see, there's 2 right there, and then there's one that holds the cab down, and there's another one, I believe, that holds the cab insert down. So you just have to memorize which screw goes where, because I messed that up when I originally put it back together, and the engine compartment was loose, so I had to undo a bunch of screws and re-screw it back together. But as you can see, you do have some anti-slip texture right here. Even your steps have some painted anti-slip texture. You have a blue cap. Not 100% sure what that is. I'm not sure if it's a hydraulic reservoir or a fuel tank. I'm not too familiar with backhoes. This is my first backhoe model ever, so I'm getting kind of new into these. You do have some nice tires. The tread pattern is nice. They do have fenders, and the turning angle on them isn't that great. As you can see, that so far it goes to the right, and then this is to the left. Not the greatest. And then coming to the rear, you do have some nice stabilizers. The one thing that sucks about these stabilizers when you get the model is you do have to fix them, because when you do get the model, they only go down to about there. And there's stoppers on the ends that you have to file down to achieve pretty good lift height like I have, and then you just gotta pop the stabilizer pad down. Mine can sit up fairly high. And around here, this is how you see backhoes parked most of the time. Park it something like that, but the stabilizer's up. I actually stiffened my stabilizers too, so it did a better job of holding the model up as well. And then coming to the back, as you can see, you have 2 warning decals. You have one right there, one right there. It's for the swing of the machine. It can be a little tight in some places. It's loose going this way, but it gets tight when it goes that way. And then you do have a nice cat decal right here, and then you have another small little warning decal right there. I'm not sure how well you can see that, but there it is. You do have a nice exhaust. It is plastic, and if you do take the cab off, you just got to be very careful, because it's kind of a flimsy plastic, so you might break it. So you just have to be careful with that. And as you can see, there's no red latch bar on this side. And then coming to the front, you do have a nice cat decal on the hood. Then you do have a nice, this is where your radiator would be. It's a nice radiator cover. Obviously the underside, nothing special, as you can see right here. These are where the stoppers are. I filed mine off. So it's a little tab that basically when you move it to about there, it stops your stabilizer from going down. I'm not sure why they're doing that. They've done it on the 336s as well, where you can't put the boom up all the way. I'm not 100% sure why they're doing that. It's kind of annoying, because it's not really realistic when they only go down like that. Most backhoes have their back wheels lifted off the ground. But anyways, some of the functionality. So we'll start off on the back. So it turns fairly nicely. This side's stiff, but it can still achieve nice turning angle. The cylinders are nice and stiff as well. And then this is an extending part right here. It's a little flimsy, kind of cheap. It does wiggle a lot, but it's still nice that it moves. And then it does have a nice range of motion with the bucket. The bucket actually touches the stick, but it only goes out to about there. And then obviously these backhoes, it does have a quick coupler, so you can put a hammer on if you want. Looks very nice with the hammer on it. It comes with an auger as well. I don't have the auger. I chose not to. I didn't want the auger. I've never seen a backhoe with an auger before, so I just told the person to keep the auger and the lifting beam as well. Because personally, I've never seen a backhoe with an auger or a lifting beam. It's either a jackhammer or a set of pallet forks. But getting to the front, you do have the stupid 4-in-1 bucket. As you can see, and the range of motion isn't the greatest at all. Dumps there. Obviously, the 4-in-1 bucket opens. That's how far back the bucket will go. You can fold the bucket down that far, so you achieve a relatively good cut angle. I'm never going to show you on the back. That's about as far as the boom will go down. So if you're digging below grade, you can have it positioned digging like a trench or something. But the 4-in-1 bucket is just, I'm not a fan of it. I feel like they should just put a regular bucket on a backhoe. I've personally never seen a 4-in-1 bucket like this. Most backhoes have normal buckets. They don't have the opening part at all. But then there's the coupler, as you can see. I do have the pallet forks for it as well. So there's just the pallet forks on it. If you wanted to pick up the bucket or a pallet. I don't think it would be able to pick up a fuel tank. I just happen to have a fuel tank right here. I don't think it would be able to pick up this fuel tank, but for right now it looks pretty cool. But yeah, that's just kind of about it for the review on this model. Obviously, the 4-in-1 bucket I'm not a fan of. But the R924 bucket, or not the R924, the 924, Cat 924 loader, the VersaLink loader bucket does fit on there fairly nicely. It looks okay. It's not the greatest, obviously, because it's not meant to go on here, but it's better than this stupid thing right here. If you're looking to pick up one of these, if you're a backhoe, if you like backhoes and you want Cat, I would pick one up. But if you're debating on this or an NZG, I would go for an NZG backhoe over this one. I mean, it's an okay model. It needs a little work to make it better, but there's definitely some things that they could have improved on. As you can see, the steering just sucks. But that's just kind of about it for this review. So if you have any questions, feel free to ask. If you haven't followed us on Facebook or Instagram, the link will be in the description. And yeah, that's just about it for this video. If you want to see a review of anything, feel free to ask. And thank you for watching, and stay tuned for the next video to be uploaded.